Hello guys, I am back at it. I just did the daily and I thought that I needed to come back and do this one. This is for the full moon in Sagittarius, but I decided not to go live for some reason. I don't know, I just do as I'm told, or I just follow what I got. So basically this one is just going to be for the full moon energy. What's coming in, what's going on, I don't really know. I just know the energy is quite, it's fast, it's wild, and free. Oh my goodness. That just like spit right out of the deck. Aren't we in the blue moon right now? That literally says, if you can see it, it says the blue moon. Prophecy. Okay, I guess we're going to get started. Okay. And I know anything else about, okay. The harvest moon, which is, it says rest after labor. The blood moon, which is karma. And then this one, the hare moon, which talks about guidance. And then the harvest. What is this? Please indulge me with what this is. What is the blue moon? What can we expect for the blue moon here? The stars. Wishes do come true with some unconditional love here. The walking boots, which talks about your path. And it's time to start. There's going to be like an uncontrollable major force, a chain of reaction, or something's building momentum, and it's like suddenly something shifted for you. What is the karma? What's the blue moon energy? Man. Wow, you might hear, this man might come to your house, or somehow their energy comes back. I don't know why it's the mortal and pestle. It could be, it's the return of what belongs. The masculine returns home. What? It's the boomerang, which feels like returning what belongs to you. I don't know why that's falling under karma. I mean, because what is what is. I keep hearing that. But it's like I don't want to say something like, okay, this person comes back and says, okay, I've been dealing with karma. I don't want to say that because we have no control over that. And karma does not need an assistant. It just feels like this masculine comes back and says something like, you were right. Or the return of something that belongs to you. And then you've got the fishes. This masculine might have went out to do something like financially, like for work. Something, I don't know. They might have went to go out and make something multiply. Then you got the woman. I mean, it could have been that, but who would want that? I don't know. No judgment. What is going on with the guidance here with the hare moon? Rising above. It's the opportunity for hope. The guidance here. The moon. Feels like there's many working things. There's a clear vision. The tree. And the ring. Wow. This honestly does feel like the return of something that belongs to you. the swan. This is your swan, and then the owl. With the sun, whatever, there's something seeing through the facade. This masculine, it feels like now they see. They once were blind and now they see. And it feels like probably because what they've been trying to work on or have happened for them, my ear just went completely plugged. I was going to say ringing, but it's not ringing, it's plugged. They see something now. What is this? But the feminine gets what she wants. I don't want to say it's in a bad thing. 9 of Pentacles. You put it out there. What is this? Ace of Wands, 10 of Cups. You definitely called it in. 6 of Swords, and now it's coming to you. 4 of Wands. It's coming to your home. The Sun. Judgment. This feels like good karma. It's coming in hot because you've been patiently working on yourself. You've got the Hermit with the 7 of Pentacles. You've been doing the work. 2 of Cups, 4 of Swords. So whatever this connection was or is, it's healing. It is healing. So during this time, during this full moon, something is healing. 8 of Pentacles. The work. Feels like working on what was toxic. And I say that because I've never seen this card before. I don't use this deck that often. But there is a spider web. And there's a spider in this spider web, if you can see that. And it does feel like working on what was toxic in this dynamic or just in your life. It could go either way. And so taking the sacrifice. It's the cross. Surrendering. Work it out. The broken base. Whatever this was, it was hard. And you mastered it. It was like some discipline and it feels like if you went through like hard times or hardships or something like that, you started to teach people about it. And the ring, you made a contract or a commitment into helping, training, conquering. The symphony. Co-create. Shooting star. Quick action. Fairy tale. You've been telling your story. That's what I want to say. Somebody's been like inspiring through their story or something like that. Working tirelessly. The sap. Resources. It just feels like, and then you got likely, and then you got the childhood. Okay, so somebody's been working. They've been doing the work. Okay, somebody's been working through like their childhood stuff. I don't want to say baggage. I heard the word baggage, but I don't want to say baggage. But it's like childhood stuff. And now this full moon is bringing in the thing that you've been trying to manifest. Ace of Swords. And the healing again. And now it's your wish. That's my whole point. It's like the truth is You've been healing, and now you've got a wish that's coming in for you. Wish granted. And it feels like because job well done. They've been watching. And they've been watching, could be anybody. But it feels like spirit. Ace of Cups, the love. 9 of Pentacles. And it feels like you've done this by yourself for so long. Now you've got it where now you get to collaborate with somebody. Somebody else gets to come in and join the, I don't know, I heard party, but they get to join you in this. And the lovers, I'm telling you, it's your person comes in, or it feels like somebody comes in and gives you a big hug. And it's because of the work. That's what the karma is. There's good and bad karma. This feels like good karma. Temperance. You've stayed tempered and you've worked. Well, you've worked on your inner strength. And the Hermit. And you've done it by yourself. Ace of Pentacles. And now you get this Ace of Pentacles. There's lots of aces. That was going on in the daily too. Lots of aces were coming in. I've seen the 5 of, you got Justice with the World. 5 of Pentacles. Oh my, okay. All of my cards just fell on the floor. These cards definitely want to talk. All of the cards want to talk today. You've been stuck on how to move something forward here. You've been at a loss, something like that on a decision, death. And then all these cards just fell. 6 of Swords, or no, that's 6, 7. 7 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, and the 3 of, you've had to wait a long time. And it feels like to get past like lies and deception and all of that. And it all was linked to the 3 of Swords. You were really hurt by something. And it feels like you can now finally move forward. And it feels like because you did the work. And since you did the work, it is now reward time. What is that? I'm putting so much energy on this table. 5 of Wands. Queen of Cups. You've been battling. It feels like justice. Okay. So it does feel like good karma. It feels like because even though there's been like 5 of Wands, drama or competing energy or anything like that. And then the 4 of Cups is like disappointed and all that. And I'm looking at how she's holding her cup. This Queen of Cups, it's like barely holding it. And it feels like you've tried to be in your loving energy. In the Justice card, it's kind of like, Nine of Pentacles. Even though it's going very slowly, justice will prevail. Ten of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. Page of Swords. Judgment. It just feels like you've been sitting there like, I need to work on myself before anything else. 8 of Pentacles. That's my point. I need to work on myself. The Hermit. Wow. That's exactly what I'm saying. I need to do the work for myself. You were committed with that 8 or Queen of Pentacles. It is, you took like a commitment to yourself and you did all that. And so now in comes the reward during this full moon. Like it feels like you've ended all things. It was heavy. It was hard because you were doing it on your own. But it feels like even things that have hurt you in the past, you've just kind of stood your ground. I want to say something like that. And you kind of like released it with love. And it's kind of like, I won't let that shake me or break me, or it's up to me to heal that. And so now you're going to be getting some sort of reward in that. Okay, so it feels like that's what's coming up. What happens after all of this? Because it does feel like if this is happening, it feels like just continue to keep doing what you're doing because it is working. And it almost feels like you have something really beautiful coming in after all of that. Okay, I want to go back to this. Well, that was the karma. What is the guidance? What guidance do we need for this? The round table. Equality, collaboration, support group. It's a healthy debate. It's a team project and being heard. Okay, what does this have to do with? It's complicated because you got the yarn. The squirrel. And balancing. Okay, so even though there's some squirrely, complicated, grumpy cat stuff going on, it feels like stay centered. People might be doing a lot of talking. It does. It feels like gossiping. It's almost like, okay, yeah, they're being childish. So there's some childish stuff going on. Leap of faith. That's the child. That's a boy. And then that says birth of a son. But it feels like just keep going. If you have a little boy, he might like invent or come up with the idea of something, but it feels like working with him or working with somebody new, stable. Inner guidance, distorted. The key. What? Feels like if there's something foggy, this almost feels like somebody. It feels like, yeah, okay, you'll always know where you're going. It does feel like somebody, like when you come in from the cold and your glasses are all foggy from the moisture. Oh. And you have to wipe off your glasses so you can see. It feels like pay attention to something because what is that you need to see? What do you need to see here? As we are talking about the guidance, well, then there's temperance here again. It feels like no matter what is going on or happening, stay calm, stay balanced. You did a lot of work on yourself. It feels like don't let somebody get you out of character. What is this? There's 5 of Wands again. Moving past the see, that's what I mean. There's probably going to be some stuff going on where people are like battling or something like that. It's the 5 of Wands. Lots of that going on. But it feels like the guidance is for you to move forward with the Chariot and put yourself in a protective bubble. She's just, nope. I'm going to stay balanced. I'm going to stay at ease. I'm not going to be disturbed. Like this is not going to, It feels like during this full moon, it feels like just stay centered. Because there might be stuff going on and you might actually be protected from whatever is going on the outside. Page of Cups. This feels like out of nowhere or almost like, yeah, okay, 1 picks 4. Death. Wow. Yes. And I'm seeing the Empress sticking out. You might be shielding or somebody is shielding themselves. It feels like from the world. There's like changes going on, like from out of nowhere. And if somebody is just like, nope. And they're putting up like this shield. And it's kind of like, I've seen it before it happened. I feel like I don't know where to go now. So the guidances is kind of like just to, which I mean, that does seem very relevant when it comes to spirit, where it's kind of like stay in your bubble and do your work. And that's probably what you've been doing all along. I mean, that's what we were just pulling on. And you're going through lessons here with the Page of Pentacles. And it just feels like, you're going to see some things. I want to say something like over the next like 4 days. And it's like you get a rest after this. Which that is kind of how long the full moon is, isn't it? Isn't it 3 days? The Devil, the 8 of Swords, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. What is that? Or let me read you that. Do that out quickly, because I don't know what that was. I didn't even have a question. Okay, so what is this with the Death and the Sun? King of Wands. There's some action. You might notice the work of a masculine. They're going to get recognized for some work that they're doing, some heavy lifting. It's a 10 of Wands. It's like heavy. And 10 of Pentacles. Five of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. This person wants to wrap all the way around you. Why is the Five of Swords here, though? Two of Cups. This person is they're overthinking. Okay, so this other person, they have been stalling. If you're wondering why somebody's not making a move, or they're not talking, or they're acting weird, or they're not doing something that, whatever it is. If you think this person's not into you, they are. But they're self-sabotaging, and the way how they're self-sabotaging is they're overthinking the process. They're overthinking it instead of just going with the flow of it. This biker. This person is a lone wolf. They're a loner. They love freedom. And it feels like I want to say something like, but they love you. And they're gonna reach out and they're gonna give you like an olive branch. It feels like they're gonna surrender to you. They're gonna give you what you want. Kerosene. Feels like watch out, because they are coming in. They're changing. Watch out, they're changing. They're fine-tuning themselves. And the Knight. And now they're gonna rush in with their surrender flag. Chocolate and some satisfaction with that. Chocolate. This person might do too much, though. Wow, with the Phoenix. This person is changing in such a way where they've tried to like, wow, and then you got it again. This person is, okay, if you can follow me here. This person, whoever this loner person is, it's like they're rushing in with their flag. It's the Knight. They're rushing in. However it is that they're rushing in. And they're holding it. And then they stick their flag down. They just rush in and King of the Mountain. I'm telling you, it's the race car. They're coming in fast. The Dolphins. I think I said something like that during the daily. The devil. Why does it have to be the devil? You're sitting here minding your own business, doing the work, and it's like now this person is rushing in, but it's the stars. This could be a Capricorn. It doesn't have to be, devil. And what they do, that might be, they probably work too much. They could be a workaholic. It could be anything like that. But somehow it's the devil with the star in the bridge, which is communication. They want to compromise. Wow. And then you got money right there with the fish. Resources and money, all of that, income. Why is the devil here? And but the devil, what's the devil? The Chariot and the stars and the Judgment. This person might be completely obsessed. Wow, and the Two of Cups. They're fixated on you now. I want to say that. It's kind of like be careful for what you wish for, because now this lone wolf is rushing in to you. Get the Two of Cups here twice. And it's like they're talking to you. Their judgment has been, wow, and Ace of Wands. Well, there's that too. That could be what the devil energy is too. With the Ace of Wands there. Yeah, they want that. Doesn't have to be though. This person is like something was ignited in them. And so now they want to rush in, and maybe they're just moving really fast. And they're rushing in for the healer. It's almost like I've got to have it. And that's their judgment. Their judgment is the Two of Cups, which I have to do this. Death. Oh my gosh. I need the change in the world right there. 10 of Cups. And the Ace of Swords. Holy cow. What is happening? This person, this lone wolf, realizes what it is. Wow, with the Fool. I split the deck and it's the Fool. This loner person who it probably was alone for a long time, and I just seen the Five of Swords again, where they self-sabotage things. And it feels like they're realizing now what it is that they love. They love family. They want family. It feels like I'm all in. And they rush into you. There's a roadblock. There's been roadblocks, it feels like from the universe, to protect you from this energy before. Because this person was complicated before. But then you've got the Autumn Kara. They're your soulmate. But they were trying to shield you from this. There was a roadblock put in place, and it was from the universe. And then you've got the choices here with the coin toss. And the shield and the Autumn Kara. Feels like to get a higher perspective. And now it's time. The Cabin. There's a strategy to this the whole time. It feels like because this masculine, whoever the lone wolf was, they were aloof. They needed to go on their own endeavors. They needed to go in and keep things going until they can come back and be well put together. They needed to figure it out. So they left. That feels like we know these things, but it's like this person was, that's what I mean too, as far as they were, what is it? They were self-sabotaging. It was because they needed self-care. Yeah, they did. They needed a lot of self-care. They needed to find out what was causing them to do all the things that they were doing. And in the meantime, when they were doing that, Spirit was protecting you from this. So it feels like, you did the work. You did everything that you needed to do. on self. This, yeah, now you can write in tandem together with the repair. That is crazy. That is literally what came up at the daily. Then you got the tools and happening soon. It feels like now now that you two have everything, all the tools that you need to repair this. So that's what's going to be taking place over this full moon energy. That's probably why it's so big, is because now the two of you are working together. You're turning things together. You both went out, did the work separately. Now you can come back because you've got the tools. You've got everything that you need to come back in and do everything right how it needs to happen. Wow, the swans. You're going to be gambling with your... You're going to be gambling with your swan. I've seen the gamble card, so, but it's temperance. It's temperance with the swans. It feels like, wow, wait a minute though. That's Sagittarius. That's where we're in. We're in the full moon of Sagittarius. So now you get to play with your swan during this full moon. Okay. And literally it's because you've been doing the work. So this feels like a spiritual reward because you've put in the work. You did what you needed to do. And now you get to play with your swan. So, what happens after that? And then I'll wrap this up. What happens after this full moon? What can we expect after the full moon with these two? Eight of Pentacles. Feels like working. The Wheel of Fortune. Spirits at work. Four of Swords. I mean, it's like you may hear from them or you may not. Something like that. But there's a lot of healing that's being done. Feel it, Wheel of Fortune style. Because there might be a little things that still need to be kind of working out the kinks, I guess. But it feels like just working, still working on healing the moon. All I do is work, 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 work. Page of Air, and then watching. Wow. Page, and Chariot. Feels like slowly moving forward. And a High Priestess. Wow. With it, okay. It feels like somebody learns now how to appreciate things. And you got the Eight of, wow. You got the Eight of Wands with the Six of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Eight of Fire or Eight of Wands. That's fast forward movement. Texting, whatever. With the Six of Air, Six of Swords, which is moving forward. And then you've got the Ace of Cups. It just feels like moving forward with love. Tower. And in this deck, this tower, it's not falling. It's built. So it feels like you are moving forward even after this time frame in something solid. Okay. So I'm going to leave this here. I hope you guys have a great full moon. And I will see and talk to you guys later. Bye.